All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Trading Rolly. Happy crypto weekend. Bitcoin has been pumping for 6 weeks straight. Will the altcoins catch up? We'll do some technical analysis, a Bitcoin breakdown, plus an altcoin report. All right, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. Leave a comment if there's anything you'd like me to check out in future videos. Remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research and trade at your own risk. So we can see real quick, I want to look at the CME charts. This is where the institutions are trading Bitcoin. It can give you a good idea of how the big players are playing this game, and you can see we've come exactly to this critical resistance line on the CME chart. This was the highest weekly candle close. You can see it actually started trading at the peak December 2017. We have a January weekly candle close right here. Bitcoin has tapped it exactly. So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary if we see some type of rejection in the short term, okay? And if we do, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to zero. It's just, these things don't go straight up, they don't go straight down. They kind of have a little bit of an ebb and flow with them, right? So at some point, it's going to have a bit of a pullback, which can still be healthy. We can see on the CME weekly, your RSI is overbought, your Stokes are rising. They have not crossed down yet, and we did put in another weekly candle close there. So everything looks good, but we just have to be aware that we're a bit overbought. If you look at the daily RSI is overbought as well. And typically when you hit that overbought territory on, price, you can see you have some pullbacks. Here, this one here, you just actually consolidated sideways. On this one here, you also consolidated sideways. Here, actually called the top. So you have to be careful sometimes. This called the top here. This we consolidated sideways. Here we consolidated sideways, had a bit of a drop. And then we've had an epic run, but now we're overbought again. So could we have another consolidation sideways? Hopefully we do, and not have just a massive dump. Because if we can consolidate, stay above 16K would be ideal. That could give the altcoins some time to catch up. It would kind of be basically people taking some profit off of Bitcoin and then putting them into the altcoins that have been beaten down badly over the past month. They're pretty cheap right now, so maybe some profits from Bitcoin will move to altcoins. That's the best case scenario. I will say something to be on the lookout. It's been a while since I've looked at the Fear and Greed Index, but you can see the Fear and Greed Index is at a 90. Looking at this chart, the highest we've seen in a long time, the last time we've been at this level was June 2019. What happened June 2019 was the top in June 2019. So we do need to be aware of that. In fact, I took about a 25% profit off of my own Bitcoin holdings. Remember, this is not financial advice. I left alone all of my altcoins. I'm going to try to see if they can pump and catch up. But I did want to take some profits, guys. If you look at Bitcoin's spot USD chart on Bitstamp, let's go to the weekly. Like a month and a half, we're up 50% at least. So even from, let's say, from September 20th, so about almost 2 weeks, 2 months, we're up 50%. That's a large gain in a, 2-month time period. So you got to take some profits on the way because it's not guaranteed we'll hit 20K. We could go to 20K. That's another 20% higher. And some decisions may need to be made at that point too. But, if we collapse right back down to 10K, right back where we started from, that's just a missed opportunity. And you do have to take some profits at some point, right? Have a game plan. Everyone's game plan is going to be very different. I just want to remind you to take some along the way. We've seen massive, pumps to the upside, and then it's also known to drop 30% lower. So it would be a shame to make that large of a profit and then watch it all disappear. Guys, if it drops back down lower, I'll be happy to buy back in lower. I am dollar cost averaging. I just saw a good point, and we're at this level that we could see some downside from here. It's possible. We can see 16,220 is the current price. I'm seeing some bearish divergence. So let's go ahead and look at the Bitcoin chart. Look at our indicators, see, are the bears going to take over the next week or two? Guys, with the lockdowns all across, you have Europe lockdowns. Now you have certain cities like Chicago starting to advise to stay home. Pretty soon you're going to see states, I'm sure, like California being more strict with their shutdowns. You're seeing 14-day quarantine suggested, anyone traveling to California, Washington, Oregon. These are only going to increase. We have 150,000 cases a day without any real type of lockdown or mandates. This is only going to increase. And whether we have an actual federal lockdown or not, people are going to kind of self-isolate themselves. We're already talking about toilet paper shortages. We're going back to March, basically. And the numbers are higher than they were in March. So there could be another downturn in the stock market, Bitcoin, all markets. I don't think it will be as bad as in March, especially with, the Operation Warp Speed speech that Trump gave today. They will have vaccines for those in need by the end of this year and general population by April. So we know it's around the corner. We're just going to have to get through the next 5-6 months. And if you have the lockdowns, you're going to see people, businesses are hurting. They're already hurting. Restaurants, hotels, airplanes are already hurting. You might see those drop again, and that could cause some panic, and it could cause some panic in all markets. So that's why I just had to do the responsible thing and take a little profit. I didn't take all profit. I'm not telling you to short right now. In fact, I wouldn't get crazy about shorting, but just be aware, these things go up and they go down, okay? Off of my soapbox, let's just look at the indicators on the weekly Bitstamp chart. You are overbought on your RSI as well. Your Stokes are up but have not crossed down. So there could be more room to go. I've been looking at 16,150 on Bitstamp chart. That was the weekly candle close here. If we can get a weekly candle close above that level, possibly, that will give us the signal to go for 18,950. That was the all-time high weekly candle close. And we've been playing the weekly chart this way. We saw that this was going to be a resistance from that 2019 top at this was around 13,880. We hit that as a resistance level, and then the following week we hit that next level. If we can get a close, maybe we go for it. But we're starting to see us kind of take a pause here. The volume is decent, but it's nothing extraordinary. Something else I've been reading and analyzing is that there's not a lot of shorts left. We're not seeing these massive pumps like we did possibly back here because there was a lot of shorts. A lot of shorts didn't think we could break back above 6K. And when they started getting liquidated, it just, added to this volcano explosion. But pretty much all the shorts, all the bears have been wiped out. So this has been pretty organic spot buying, driving the price up, which is nice to see. But that's probably why we haven't seen $1,000 candles so far. Let's look at our moving averages. We're well above the pink 10 simple, well above your yellow 21 EMA. So we're on the bullish side, but price doesn't like to deviate too far away from these. So either you could pull back or it could chop sideways and allow these to catch up. You can see this happen here. It was too far away. It went sideways, bounced off of it too far, bounced off of it. And you could see all the way through the real bull run here, you had the similar situation. And, you know, you have a rise, a 60% rise there, and then you have about a 20% drop. From that drop to there, that's a 60% rise. And then from here, you have a 20% drop. Again, March 2017 to June 2017, 177% rise. But right after that, you had a 30% drop. And again. So we have to be aware of that. That's why I think, you know, when you're in some good profit, take a little off the table. If you keep going, awesome, you're still profiting. And if you get a nice dip, you'll have some cash, you know, to dollar cost average back in. Okay, going down to the daily, and then we're going to move over. We'll look at the daily and the 4 hour on Bitcoin, and then take a look at the altcoins. The daily has just been bouncing off this pink 10 simple the entire way. So, you know, I preemptively took those profits at 16,450. I shared that on my Twitter at Trading Rolly. It was a difficult call. I didn't want to part ways with any of my Bitcoin, considering I do believe one day we will hit 50K, 100K higher. But realistically, by the time we hit that price, it could be, you know, a full year from now. You know, 100K, maybe that's not till December 2021. All right. So preemptively took a little profit there. But if you wanted to, you know, use a stop loss or look for an actual bearish signal that the uptrend may be over, I would say a daily close below the pink 10 simple would be your first signal. However, sometimes when you lose that pink 10 simple, you can get another bounce off the yellow 21 EMA. But once you're closing below the yellow 21 EMA, sometimes that uptrend has come to a conclusion. So you can see you've maintained support. Right now, pink 10 simple, 15,670. A close below that could trigger an attempt lower to the yellow 21 EMA, which is at 14,700. Okay. So you want to look at those, and ultimately, if you do lose those levels, you want to bounce off maybe this blue 50 simple at 12,694, or we could come all the way down to that 200 EMA down here at 11,057 and rising. And you would still, you know, be bullish. And we've been on from the bottom here, from the bottom of the, you know, the Black Swan event, and I'm going, not all the way down 3,000. Let's just say from $5,000 to the current price now, you're up 200%. So this is a nice rally. And, you know, if you zoom out from that and say we came back down to, where was that? Right here. You zoom out. Let's draw it even. And you came, let's say, there, and then bounced. You're still putting in an uptrend. So we might drop at some point. Not saying it happens this weekend or next week, but at some point you will get a drop. And as long as you're putting in macro, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher lows, you're still looking good. It's interesting to see, you know, I've had this rising channel for a while. You can see that the 200 EMA on the daily is probably going to line up with the bottom side of this rising trend line. So that this level here, but I don't think we go below 10K. I don't think we go below 10K. Can it happen? Of course. And we could come all the way down to 10K and still be putting in, you know, a macro uptrend. So as long as we're above 10K, I feel pretty good on the macro level, you know, as far as a bull run going into next year, everything's good. But, you know, when you zoom in a little closer, let's go to the 4 hour, see what's happening exactly. Get rid of this and move over to the altcoins. So let's see. 4-hour Stoke crossed down. You're seeing some bearish divergence. You have a high and a higher high here, but your RSI is progressively going lower. You can even see it started here. Price continues to rise and the RSI peaks are going lower. You could probably see that on the daily RSI as well. You can see we are going lower on that RSI there as the price is going. So that's basically saying that the relative strength is decreasing. So the strength was increasing on the move, and now the strength is decreasing as price is moving up. Okay, volume. So, that's what I'm saying. We're still above that pink 10 simple. It's not time to jump ship, not time to sell out, not time to go crazy on shorts, but we're aware of what's happening, right? All right, let me go to the 4-hour moving averages to wrap this up. So your Stoke is crossed down. The volume is falling. We are currently still, $50 above that 16,150 level. Looking like the 4-hour might lose the pink 10 simple. Could bounce off the yellow 21 EMA 15,964. To keep this uptrend, I think you would want to stay above 15,583. If you're looking at 4-hour time frames, you want to stay above that level. Otherwise, you could retest the top of that rising channels coming in around 14,600. All right. All right. 16 minutes. In-depth Bitcoin analysis. Guys, the news has been great. We've been pumping 6 weeks straight. Could we continue? Definitely. But just lock some profits in along the way. I would look at the Bitcoin dominance for you, but there's a glitch, and this is affecting the dominance as well as the altcoin chart, so you can't do any technical analysis on that. So let's go over to Ethereum, and with some of these altcoins, let's just keep it real simple. I'll look at the moving averages, Stokes, RSI, weekly, daily. So Ethereum weekly above all moving averages. You're putting in a potential new high. So you have a high, you had a low, higher low, possibly a higher high. This candle weekly close was higher, so this is Ethereum's definitely in an uptrend. It's been lagging behind Bitcoin, so I think if Bitcoin goes sideways, you can see Ethereum and some other altcoins take a turn higher. Your stochastic on the weeklies crossed up. You're moving in an uptrend on the RSI, and you could probably go a bit higher here as well. Target, well, above all moving averages on the weekly. I think this range, let me see, do I have any drawings on that one? You have this high at 800, but I think, let's see, you have a line here. You can see that rejection. There was some, there was support, a rejection. So where is this coming in? That's at about 533. I think we could definitely hit that if you go closer to the daily. 533 would put in a 2020 high, and I think that would also fulfill a bit of a guys, it's getting cluttered. It's getting cluttered. That would put in the bull flag target, basically, if you had drawn, a symmetrical triangle here like this, and you had done a pull up. See that breakout, that daily candle close above that downtrend, breakout here, drag that pull up there, and it's taking you to that 533 level, 525, let's call it. So that would be my target short term on Ethereum, and if all things go well, I think it could definitely hit a lot higher, and we are looking at this peak up here around that 800 level. But as I said, the weekly is looking good on your stochastics and your moving averages. Going to the daily. Your daily stoke is high, but not crossed down yet. So potential. But you are at this critical resistance right here. Right now, using that daily chart, you can see that you're going to need to get a daily candle close above 476, and then maybe we can go towards that 525 level on Ethereum. A lot going on here, but it's the maze, it's the labyrinth. But you can see it all makes sense, right? All right. Litecoin, 65 is the macro level on Litecoin. And we are attempting to close a weekly above it. We'll have to see what happens. It looks like the daily closed just above it, but you had that happen here as well. Look at this head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, boom. But so let's see. We got the close above. Let's see if we can get an open and close above 65. 65 is an important level. Litecoin needs to flip. You can see this rejection here, rejection, support, rejection, rejection. And we want to break this lower high structure and get back above there. Let's just go ahead, throw on those moving averages. Your weekly breaking above that 200 EMA is pretty good. So, and your stoke crossed up. So everything looks decent here to me. If you can close that weekly above there, above 65, we can target this top here around 80. If things continue bullish, 138. But remember, we could have Black Swan, baby Black Swan number 2 at any point. I don't think it will be as bad, but it could happen. Your weekly Cardano crossed up from the bottom. Really need to see price, close above this level here around 11 cents we've talked about. And then you could go to 14 cents going to the daily. Cardano looks like it's stalling out a bit. Your stochastic is kind of hinting at a cross down. So you're hitting a major resistance level right there in the 11 cent range. XRP looks like Cardano, except for it's had a bit of a better breakout. So you can see resistance right here. You got the daily close above it, and now you're getting that breakout. So you want to see something similar like that on Cardano. See how you have this horizontal resistance here. You want to get above that like XRP did. And now XRP got that close. Hopefully it can make another attempt up to 30 cents. Let's look at XRP on the weekly. On the weekly, 30 cents would be the target, but this is going to be resistance. Probably resistance again, but if you can break that level, you're targeting 47 cents peak here, which is got some confluence going all the way back there. Support, resistance. So yeah, 30 cents, then 47 cents. Your weekly stoke still coming down. So let's see if XRP can get a cross up. About a month, you'll have that airdrop. So maybe a little rally before that. Link, keep it moving. Link, weekly, cross up from the bottom. Let's see if we can get some momentum. The last candle was a green candle. Let's see if we can get any volume follow through though. You're moving. I think you're above your moving averages, so you do have that support around 1050 on the yellow 21 on the weekly. Let's look at the daily real quick. On the daily, you kind of in this rising channel, not even a strong rising channel. So we'll have to see. You're going to need some volume to step in for a link. You can see this little rising channel here. You're going to need to break that. Otherwise, you could revisit, maybe test that blue 50 simple at $11. Your 200 EMAs at $9.20 on link. You're above all moving averages, but Your Stokes kind of crossing down on the daily is just kind of ranging in here. We need some buyers. Band did close above the daily 50. Bouncing off the yellow 21 EMA, your pink 10 simple crossing back above these higher time frames, 200. 10's back above the 21, looking for a bullish cross above the 50. We want to see the price of band stay above this pink 10 simple at $5.60. Tezos, kind of similar. You want to see this stay above $2 on Tezos, and then you could hit 244. Let's go to DOT. DOT has been consolidating completely sideways. You do have a resistance box in the $5 region. Not seeing much volume step in, just slowly going sideways. But a lot of good hype about this, kind of a rounding bottom. It's kind of rounding towards the upside more than it's rounding to the downside. So we're still hopeful about this one. YFI had quite a bounce. DeFi was looking good, nice bounce. Kind of chopping sideways above the 50 simple. Not too bad. Let me go a little closer, see if I see anything on YFI. I don't know. You kind of had a potential bull flag. You broke out, but there's no volume. Dropped down above the 21 EMA. Your 50 simple crossing over the 200 simple, crossing above 200 EMA. This could act as some support later. You need a bounce here, I'd say. Uni up big. Uni was doing the best I would of all the altcoins. Look at that daily candle. Boom. So you close above the pink 10 simple, close above the yellow 21 EMA, went to the 50 simple, squeezed, boom, nice price. Do we consolidate sideways? It's possible. Your daily stoke is high on Uni. So I don't know, guys. Do we get the altcoin crypto weekend pump or not? From looking at this, I'm not seeing anything overwhelmingly bullish. I think everything is primed in a good position, but I don't see like bull flag, bull flag, bull flag. And in fact, Bitcoin is at 16,193. So possibly Bitcoin drops a bit in the next 24 hours, which causes some alts to drop, but Bitcoin doesn't drop too hard. Maybe find some support. You know, this is the 1 hour chart. Let's go to 4 hour. Bitcoin finds some support. This 50 simple is at 15,583, something, you know, right there. Drops. Everything might kind of drop. Maybe that was just profits, and maybe it just finds support there and moves its way to the altcoins, and then the altcoins can rally hard this weekend. Best case scenario, anything can happen, but that's what we're looking at. Technically, 28 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and take profits when you are in profit. You don't have to close out 100%. You can slowly scale out, have some cash sitting on the sideline in case there ever is a big dump, and then you can average in lower. All right, that's my game plan right now, and I'll let you know when I update it. See y'all next time. Rolly roll!